Are you looking to start your outdoor adventures with confidence and do it safely? Stick around today. We're going to spend a few minutes going through the 10 essential tips for beginner hikers. Regardless of what's motivating you to get into hiking, whether it is seeking the mental health benefits of it or the physical benefits of it or just exploring a new hobby, all of this stuff can be exciting, but at the same time we have to go into this not entirely overzealous. We want to do it in a methodical way so that we can do it safely, not overdo it, and not ruin the hobby for us going forward. One bad experience right out the gate can ruin it and you never come back, so let's do it right. And on that frame of thought, it's essential that you're informed and prepared when you go out so that you've got a positive experience going forward. And so first, right out the gate, you want to do your research and you want to start out on beginner level trails. You want to find something that can match not only your skill level as a hiker, but then also your fitness level and then also your know-how. You don't want to try to tackle a trail that is one, too long for you or two too technical for you and come out with a bad experience. So do your research, find a beginning trail, and then work your way up to those longer or more difficult trails. You don't have to jump into something completely overwhelming right out the gate. Start with baby steps and then work your way up. So you're going to look for trails that are well marked. They're pretty even, easy terrain. Not a lot of ups and downs right out the gate until you've worked your way up to those. And it needs to be a manageable distance so that you're not biting off this huge chunk of distance that you've got to cover. And the second one we've already sort of hinted at here, but you're going to start small and then gradually increase your distances and technical levels as you move through it. That alone is going to go a long way toward making it a positive experience for you. And then on top of it, it's also helping you build a confidence level that's going to help you continue to grow as you move through the hobby. And one thing to keep in mind while you're doing this is you also need to listen to your body. So if it's telling you you've done too much for the day, it's about time to start wrapping it up. Don't ignore those little telltale signs that our body gives us that we're starting to push it. 3, invest in proper hiking gear and material. Now, you don't have to run out and go spend hundreds of dollars on equipment right out the gate. Start out with the right kind of clothes, something that's going to not be overly hot, not be too cold, but it's going to be properly fitting. Start with moisture wicking clothes. It's going to help keep you from sweating and chafing and all that fun stuff. Start with properly fitting shoes. Those shoes need to be about a half size larger than what you're probably walking around with right this minute. And then you can start layering in your first aid gear. Work on getting navigation, whether it's a personal locator beacon or something like that. And then you can start to layer on the additional supplies as you move through the hobby. But you do want to start out with at least the right clothing and footwear right out the gate. And also, side tip, socks make a world of difference. Go buy darn tough socks. The wool, they're wonderful. And on that gear front, part of that includes, packing all of the essentials. I need to have a way to make water safe to drink if I'm not carrying enough to get through, because I would much rather have a way to make it safe than be limited to just what I'm physically carrying in there. You want to take your cell phone and a way to charge it while you're out and about, and you may need a multi-tool. You may need a way to light a fire if you need to. Just lots of little things that go along with it, going to go a long way toward making your journey safe. Of course, that also does assume that you know how to use all of these tools. But as you start to layer on equipment, you're going to look for things like a compass, sunscreen, a hat to keep the sun out of your eyes. You're going to look for bug repellent, a multi-tool, a flashlight, or a headlamp. I'm a headlamp person myself. All that little stuff you can kind of layer on as you're going. You don't have to go extravagant with these things. Find something that works for you, stick with it, and then as you get more comfortable with the hobby, you'll figure out what you do and don't need. Fourth up, you need to practice the leave no trace principles. This is that sort of generally accepted code of ethics that we as outdoor people attempt to abide by when we go out. It's going to be sort of an old nursing adage, do no harm. We're always trying to leave it better than what we found it when we go out. But go out there, if you're not familiar with the principles, go out and research those and check those out. It's good advice to live by. Number 5, I get sucked into this one all the time. Check the weather before you go out and be sure that you know what you're walking out into. I go out a lot of times when the weather is crummy just because I sort of like the adventure of it being crummy weather. But start right out the gate is probably not the best idea. Go when it's comfortable. Go when it's not going to be excessively hot or excessively cold for you. And then also, try to avoid the rain, because that alone adds effort to your hike. I like going out and stuff like that, just because I feel like it adds another layer of complexity to the outing, and build up to that. It can be a completely different experience, and it's a good way to find yourself pretty much alone on the trail, which sometimes that peace of mind is what I'm looking for. Now, a lot of new hikers are just simply not comfortable venturing out, even on a pretty well-marked trail all by themselves. If that's the case with you, find a hiking partner, hiking buddy. There are plenty of group hikes that go on in most areas. Go out and check most of the online forums. You don't usually have to typically look too terribly far to find a group to go hike with. Having said that, though, get to know the person you're going hiking with before you just go venture off into the woods by yourselves. All right, number 7, this one's incredibly important. At least half of it is. Stay hydrated. Most of us walk around in a slight state of dehydration, some more so than others. But just simply chugging caffeine, whether it be coffee or tea or soda all day, that does not really do the best job of hydrating us. We're talking actual water. Stay hydrated. Hydrate several days before you go out, so that you'll have a better experience while you're out and about. And then also following along with that, we need to fuel our bodies too. I don't want to load up on really heavy foods and stuff before I go out, but something to kind of keep the fires burning, keep the engine running. You'll have a better experience. Pace yourself and listen to your body. There are various different types of hikers out there. I kind of walk with a purpose. I want to see everything. My wife says I walk quickly. I don't think so. I just sort of walk deliberately. But I have friends that I go out with, and they're much more of a mosier. Figuring out what works for you. Find a hiking partner who walks with a similar style, so the two of you can stay together, and one's not rushing ahead and the other's not dragging behind. But find a partner, but then pace yourself and listen to your body. If your body's telling you, learn some basic land navigation. This will serve you really well. You don't have to be just an absolute compass ninja to safely go out and be in the woods and come back safely. But knowing how to read a compass and what your cardinal directions are and how that applies to your map. Hopefully you're using a real map and not just solely trusting your phone. Will go a long way toward keeping you safe, and also go a long way toward giving you the confidence while you're out and about, or something happens and you do end up in a worse situation, you can come back out of it safely. Learn how to use a compass. This next one sounds like a Facebook meme. Leave nothing but footprints, take only pictures. But seriously though, take lots of photos, take those memories with you. That doesn't involve though picking up pieces of whatever you find out there and taking it home with you. Don't destroy the place. Leave it better than what you found it. It's just polite behavior while you're out. Okay, hopefully with these 10 essential tips, you can go out there and enjoy the experience, take it with you, develop a new hobby that can be beneficial both physically, mentally, spiritually. It's a wonderful endeavor to get into, but hopefully also give you the confidence to go out there and do it safely and grow your experience level with the hobby. And as always, if you're out there on the trail watching this right now, hopefully you are, just remember, left foot, right foot, repeat. We'll see you out there soon.